Daily Detroit is brought to you by the community. Support our work at patreon.com/dailydetroit.
This is your Daily Detroit, recorded on Monday, January 14th, 2018. I'm Cheyenne Nosarini. Sven is down at the auto show and Jer's voice is gone. Both should be back tomorrow. Sven with a full breakdown of what you need to know from Cobo Center. Today, a major water main break in Detroit is causing havoc for residents. Nearly 100,000 downtown Detroit office workers and auto show attendees staying at hotels. Then, a local ice cream shop is getting a new flavor when it comes to their decor. Hopcat has a new name for their fries. And finally, I went out to Dearborn to check out historic artifacts from Michigan Central Station and give you the details on how you'll be able to see them for yourself. We'll get into all of that right after this. Daily Detroit is brought to you in part by Milo Digital. Milo Digital is a full-service digital marketing agency that engineers quality results through data and innovative strategies. Learn more at milodetroit.com. A 42-inch water main broke late Sunday night in Detroit's Elmwood Park neighborhood at McDougal and Larned, causing a boil water advisory across the Near East Side and in downtown Detroit's Central Business District. The break also resulted in lower water pressure. This is especially problematic for the tall buildings in downtown Detroit. There have been multiple reports of auto show attendees not being able to shower and restaurants having to adjust their menus. At the North American International Auto Show, media preview days kicked off today. Throughout the convention center, there were signs warning people not to drink the water. The main is operated by the Great Lakes Water Authority. After it is repaired, there will have to be at least 2 rounds of testing to be sure that water is safe. As of this recording, it looks like it'll be Thursday when water service will return to normal. As we highlighted last week on this very podcast, Metro Detroit's infrastructure is aging. This particular main is about a century old, installed when Ford's Model T ruled the streets of the Motor City. A local favorite is getting a makeover. Work has started at the Ferndale location of Treat Dreams. Last week, we reported that the Micro Creamery would be getting a facelift. It will now also be getting a new name, Treat Dreams Dessert Emporium. Treat Dreams owner Scott Maloney and the owner of Divine Cookies, Rebecca Abel, partnered for the new concept. The renovated space will have an industrial feel, with high ceilings and exposed brick. There will be booth seating and a private party room where people can make their own ice cream and cookies. They're aiming to reopen in time for Valentine's Day. As for the menu, I'll let Rebecca tell you what to expect.
We're really excited to share some of these dessert creations, taking flavors really from our travels around the world, having these gorgeous hot chocolates that have 4 inches of torched marshmallow cream on top, 4-pound, 5-pound ice cream sandwiches dipped in chocolate, covered in all sorts of goodies. It's going to be delicious.
Here's another quick bite of food news. Michigan-based Hopcat has settled on a new name for their signature fries that used to be called crack fries. The company decided to change the name near the end of last year due to concerns about naming fries after an epidemic that helped destroy many urban communities. The new name? It's out of this world. They're now calling them Cosmic Fries, with a K.
E.T. Home Phone.
Some of your thoughts on this one. Shy, S-H-I, at dailydetroit.com. A part of Detroit's history is coming back to life. As you know by now, Ford is renovating the historic Michigan Central Station. A few months ago, Ford sent out a call, no questions asked, to return artifacts of the old depot back home. Friday, I went to Dearborn to check out some of these cool objects and to get details on how you can see them for yourself. Leslie Armbruster is the archives manager for Ford Motor Company. She talked about the process of archiving these pieces.
We would try to document their provenance, so who we got them from, what their story was. If we can identify them through photographs or drawings, we would try to determine exactly where they were in the station. And then we would catalog them, photograph them, index them, and then put them in a nice archival box and put them on one of our shelves for safekeeping, and then utilize them as needed in the future for research or restoration work.
What has your favorite item been that has come in from Michigan Central Station?
I think my favorite items, before I saw the elevator call buttons, of course the favorite item was the clock face because it's just so cool and it's such a great story about how it came back to us. But I think I'm actually falling in love with the little elevator call buttons. When you think about the fact that we have 4 of them now, and I have no idea exactly how many elevator call buttons there would have been originally in the train station, it makes me think of how many are still out there, so it'd be wonderful to get more back, but they're really unique. And then we also have the light fixtures that would have illuminated top and bottom for whether you called the elevator to go up or down, and so those 2 items in conjunction with each other are really cool.
Then at the Ford Archive, I talked with Ted Ryan, the Archives and Heritage Brand Manager for Ford.
The very first day that the announcement was made last summer, a gentleman anonymously called us and said he had a clock face that should be used at the building. And he left it propped up against the side of a building down in Corktown. We recovered it. And then in recovering it and the publicity that happened, that led the company to put out a call for people to donate more materials that had been liberated from the building. No questions asked, just bring it back, and we would love to see it. With that donation, it let us get this collection of materials we have today.
What are some of the items that have been returned besides the clock?
I love the elevator call buttons. It will say signal the car and up and down. And along with those elevator call buttons are lamps that had a top and a bottom. And when you press the up button, the top lamp would light up and the down button would have the bottom one light up. The 2 of those together are just wonderful. Then there's a newel post that was on the staircase. It's this beautiful decorative piece. Fire extinguisher. One of the more interesting ones is a mail slot. Everybody's seen them in some of the older buildings where you put your envelope in on the 16th floor and it goes all the way down to the bottom. But combined with that, we also have a mail bag. It's just these different elements that show the way that the building looked at the time, and it's going to help us restore it to its glory. All the metal pieces can be brought back. The metal, because metal itself is you can sandblast it, you can use it any way that you want to. The plaster filigree pieces, I didn't mention those earlier. There's 3 different beautiful pieces of the plaster that were on the outside and inside of the building. That will give us the exact pattern for what was in place at the time, that if we want to, we could recreate that exact pattern. But the plaster itself is not stable enough to be reused on the building.
Will these items be on display for the public to see? And how will you go about displaying these items if you do?
Well, they're going to be on display in the next couple of weeks with the Winterfest coming up, where the Detroit Historical Society has teamed up with the Ford Motor Company. And at the Winterfest, we're going to have this fantastic exhibit of some of these artifacts, along with a 3D projection on the side of the building, ice carving, s'mores stations. It's going to be a fun exhibit. For the longer term within the building itself, I don't know that every one of these objects will be displayed, but they're telling us as the curators and the architects what the building used to look like so that we can match it as closely as we can to bring it back to glory.
If you have any artifacts to return, you can do so by calling, no questions asked, 313-845-3673. That's 313-845-3673. And if you want to see some of the pictures that I took while on this trip, just head on over to, you guessed it, our fancy pants new dailydetroit.com. That'll do it for your Daily Detroit. I'm Cheyenne Noserini. Thanks to Nuri Gojai for the Choco Tacos. And thank you for listening. In the words of Hank and John Green, don't forget to be awesome.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.